everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my epic video series on putting. I'm Scott Zimmerman with Team Infinite. You're going to need about 5 to 10 putters. I like to use about 7 or 8 because I can hold them in my hand like this. Now, you can get by with fewer, like say 3 discs, but the key goal in stage 1 is to throw hundreds of putts. So you need to maximize your throws per minute. TPM. I'm going to refer to that a few times in this video series. In order to maximize your TPM, you want to have more discs so that you spend less time walking back and forth to the basket. More throws before you have to go pick them up. So that's why I use about 7 or 8. And then I can hold them in my hand like this while I'm putting. Now, in stage 1, it's okay if you hold a whole stack with your left hand and put it on, rest it on your hip. You don't have to put them on the ground and worry about readdressing your stance every time like you are going to do in stage 2. So again, you just want to hold as many as you can fit and fire away, just one after the other. Because in stage 1, you're developing your arm muscles, your stance, your style, your grip. You're experimenting with different putters. What I'm using is a mixed stack, and that's okay in stage 1. Don't worry about it. Whatever you've got is going to work. So I have a Gateway Wizard, Perdiscus Sparta, Infinite Disc Alpaca, MVP Ion, Discmania P3X, Innova Aviar, and a new entry, which is very interesting, I like it a lot, is the Hydrogen by Loft. One of the key goals in stage 1 is to experiment. So you may have tried a narrow rim putter like the P3 before and said, well, it's not for me. So you have to give it a fair chance. Just keep putting. Keep putting as much as you can, and you're going to learn the different discs and the different styles, and you'll develop, your thinking will evolve, whether you like a beaded rim or a deep dish or a narrow rim. You'll figure out about your grip, whether to put your finger out on the outer edge or tuck. You're going to figure out whether you prefer a straddle putt or what I call the throwing shoulder forward. You're going to be in stage 1 for 2 to 12 months, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself and your style and your discs. So even if you're barefoot or in a business suit, if you've got 10 minutes, practice putting. First 2 goals in stage 1 are to lots of experiments and to develop your style and your stance and your grip and your preferred disc. The third goal, and the most important, is to develop confidence. And I'm going to show you how in a minute. Now, let's cover the 4 classes of putts that you need to be familiar with. Yes, there are 4 classes. If your regular putt is with your shoulder forward, like most people have this, you're still going to need a straddle putt to get around trees. On some courses, you're going to need a high putt to get over bushes in front of you. When you're this close to the basket, you don't want to give up the putt. You still need a chance at it. So some people like the hammer, which is the left foot forward with a pinched grip with the sidearm grip, or Brody Smith likes the scuba. Another variation is the spin putt, where you put 2 fingers on the outside rim, thumb on the bottom center, and then you spin it forward. Building our confidence is a key goal in stage 1. Because of that, we only want to focus on our regular putt. Now, you might say, well, but I know I'm going to need a straddle putt and a high putt and a distance putt. Yes, but by definition, those putts have less reliability than your regular putt. You want your regular putt to be your best go-to putt. The goal in stage 1 is confidence, so you must use your best putt. You'll get to those other putts in stage 2. Now, having said that, you still need to experiment a little bit with the straddle putt every time you go out, because you might decide eventually that you prefer the straddle putt to be your regular putt. So give it a fair chance to try it out, but don't focus on it once you've decided that your regular putt is with the shoulder forward. I've learned several things that we must do in stage 1 in order to build our confidence. Okay, now these rules are going to sound a bit strict, but trust me, they are going to help you evolve your putting and get out of stage 1 and into stage 2 with high confidence. Okay, the first rule is that you want to take your stack of discs and only putt from short distances. Now, how short is short? Find out what your starting distance is. It might be only 12 feet, which is 4 paces. Now, if you can make all of your discs from 4 paces, then try it from 5 paces, 15 feet. Now, here's the tough part. Trust me, in stage 1, never go more than, say, 2 or 3 paces farther back from your starting distance. So if your starting distance is only 4 paces, you never want to practice at more than 5, 6, or 7 paces. Okay, there's a few reasons why we're going to focus on short putts only. Now, I know it's sexy to think about making a long putt from 50 or 60 feet. It's a lot of fun to dream about hitting an eagle in a tournament. But the problem with long putts, well, there are 3 problems. First of all, you're walking much farther. Remember, we want to maximize our TPM, throws per minute. So one way to do that is to take shorter trips back and forth to the basket. You get more throws in when you're only walking 4 paces. Second, when you putt from 60 feet, you're missing a lot of putts. So you're going all around the yard picking up putts. It's a lot faster to pick them all out of the basket than it is to be bending over picking them up all around the yard. Third, when you're missing, you're killing your confidence. Now, if you're missing your putts, you're not hearing them hit the chains every time, you're losing confidence. When you come up to that putt in tournament, you're going to say, well, I hardly ever make this. I've been doing this in my yard and I don't make 50 footers very often. Quit thinking that way. In stage 1, don't worry about the long distance putts. If you focus on building your confidence with the short putts, you're building the foundation that will automatically allow you to hit those long putts when you get to stage 2. Another rule that I follow in stage 1 is to avoid putting games. You can download lots of games, putting games on your phone. You can make up games in the yard, and I'll show you a couple of good ones later on. But you should avoid these in stage 1. Now, why? You say, what's wrong with games? Well, there's a couple of problems. Again, TPM. We want to maximize our throws per minute. When we're playing a game, it takes time to set up the game, it takes time to keep score, and it takes time to rotate if you're playing with a friend to take turns. But also, a key problem is it puts pressure on you. Let's say I'm playing the game tonight and I've got a score of 50, hypothetical score. And let's say my high score is 54. What am I going to do on my last couple putts? I'm going to put pressure on myself to back up farther and get that high score. I want to keep seeing progress, right? Well, the problem is when you back up, inevitably you're going to miss. So your confidence is lowered if you miss that putt. And you're going to put pressure, even if you make it, you're putting pressure on yourself the next night to make that longer putt. That's not what you want to do in stage 1. No pressure and no misses. Just keep hitting your putts at short distance. Keep building your confidence. You'll get the games in stage 2. You'll be backing up and you'll be throwing distance putts. Be patient. Another thing that leads us to is don't keep statistics on yourself in stage 1. Never mind how many you're making. Don't worry about the pros making 90%. If you miss 3 in a row, take a giant step forward. As soon as you miss that 3rd putt, say, okay, something's not working here. So maybe you wandered a little bit too far from your starting distance. So take a giant step closer to the basket and you'll start making them again. It also helps you refocus your thinking. If you get bored in stage 1 making all your short putts, well, maybe you've progressed enough that you can back up, move your starting distance back. Another thing you can do in stage 1, if you get bored with your success, you can try a straddle putt around a tree, but just don't do it from very far. You still want to be 15 to 25 feet. This adds a little variety to your game. Okay, that's all for stage 1. Now, to find out when stage 2 is ready, click subscribe. Let's go.